Hi everybody. Well, this is my best friend. Say hi. Hi. Yeah. He's my Chihuahua. And he's really calm and mild and he's good. His name's Uncle Pushy. Because he always jumps in bed and pushes me off my pillow. I named him Uncle Lou, but he's really Uncle Pushy. He's my best friend in the world. And that's what leads me to this next video. There are a couple friends out there in England, in the UK, named Sammy, Jane, and Paige, and they've been watching my videos and drawing along, and it's just been great. It's been really cool seeing how well they're doing, and they're best friends. So I showed you my best friend. Paige and Sammy Jane are best friends. Who's Mickey Mouse's best friend? And that's what leads me to this next video. Mickey's best friend is Pluto. So let's draw. Get your paper and pencil ready, and then we'll see how you guys did. Now, I'm never going to decide which one I like the better between you two. No way. I'm not going to be put in the middle. I think you both draw great. And you're both nice girls. But it'd be fun to have a little competition. And anything to keep you drawing so that you keep your creative juices going and you come up with great ideas. Oh, Sammy Jane, those cards are amazing. You really have a talent. You should be selling those cards. They're amazing. If anybody wants to see some amazing greeting cards, go to XXX Sammy Jane, SAMIJANE XXX on YouTube and just look at her cards. They're amazing. And Paige's drawings are great too. Paige, and you went over with a black outline, so that was very smart because it showed up really well on camera. So Pluto is Mickey's best friend. Now Pluto is a dog, so this drawing's going to look a little rough. I'm sorry, I'm just being silly. Alright, so we start with a circle, like that. And we're going to tilt his head a little bit. You know how puppies do that when they're listening? So we're going to take that line and we're going to put it down on an angle. Then very low on the circle, we bring a line across. So now you should have that. Now, right across that horizontal line, even though it's bent, it's still considered a horizontal line. We're going to make that line there like that. That's like the bridge of his muzzle or his snout. From there, let's just go up and make one eye. We bring it right up to the center line. I'm going to do it very dark so you can see it. See, like that. And then the other eye, Pluto is one of the only characters where they show the line between his eyes. But you can make his eyes both the same size. Whereas Goofy, you'd make one a little taller than the other because, well, he's Goofy. So, okay. So we have that. And we have two eyes. Okay. So let's keep working. Alright, now, we might as well put in his pupils. Big, tall, narrow ovals. Right next to each other in his eyes, like that. Alright. Now quickly, I'm just going to shade those in. There's a lot of area to shade in this drawing. And I want to move fast. Okay, now, underneath that one line of his muzzle, we're going to put two more. They're like wrinkles. They're like wrinkles because his nose is all crinkled up when you look at him from the front, which is the portrait view. But from the three-quarter view or the profile, you can see how long his snout is. But when he turns to the front, we just see the wrinkles, which are like that. You understand? Alright, under that we're going to make his big, round, plump nose. Oh my goodness, it's so cute, and I'm going to shade it in. It's shaped like an olive. Big. Alright, so now I have a model sheet I printed out from a Disney website, so we get an official piece of Disney artwork and we just follow along with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put eyebrows over his eyes. Just two big round, and I haven't sketched this first, so this is actually my first time, like that. And then from the sides of his eyes, here, this corner of his eye and this corner of his eye, we have to give him some kind of cheeks, you know? So we're going to go ahead and put in those two bent lines, there and there. Okay, let me show it straight on so you can see it and get caught up. Alright, now, the other side of his cheek, be two more bent lines, one there and one there, like that. Now here's the trickiest part, okay? and this will make this a good challenge. You have to make his whole snout or muzzle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my horizontal guideline and I'm going to extend it a little longer. The one that goes, the one that goes right down the middle that we did, our very first line through the circle. Extend it a little down a little further. And here's why. We're going to come out this is a big tricky line and do that. See, now I knew where to stop because I have that line extended. So I came from inside his cheek with a curl, took an S curve around to there. And then we have to do the same on the other side. Oh my goodness. This is going to look sharp. So I'm going to go over it once real light and then once nice and dark so it matches. And you can see it on the camera, see? Now it's a little lopsided, but that's okay. His head's tilted, so the one side of his muzzle would hang a little lower, and that's what I have here, like that. Now you can put on freckles and a few whiskers at this point. Remember, whiskers, make them quick strokes so they really have that look. See? Like a dog, like a puppy. That's my puppy. That's what Lilo says about Stitch. Alright, so we're going to open up his mouth a little bit. So very lightly, I just sketched in that part of his mouth, just the shape of a letter U, really lightly, because I want to have his tongue hanging out of it, so we're going to go over those lines, so we don't want to make those dark just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and make my tongue nice and dark, like that, see? Now all I did was I put one like rolling hill, and then I went to the middle of it and come all the way down with that shape, hooking the tongue back inside his mouth so it fits. Now I can darken this side of his mouth and this line of his mouth like that. When I shade in the background, and I'll do this really quickly, always shading in the same direction as the nose and the eyes. See how it gives it that nice uniform look? Now we can just build his chin. So the thickness of his mouth, I add another line right there, that one alongside his mouth, and this one I'm going to continue under his mouth like that, but I left it unfinished here because we're going to give a little thickness to his jowl, you know, his neck, like that. Now with his head tilted, we can put his neck over here, so a little line right here shows his neck, and then around his neck, of course, is Pluto's collar. You know, he's got a dog collar. Uncle Pushy doesn't have one because I don't want to put one on him. He doesn't need it. When I tell him to come back, he comes back. When I tell him to go, he goes. He's such a good dog. Now that's just the inside ring of his collar. We have to show the thickness of his collar with another line exactly the same. It contours around that line like that. See, so now I've just taken that C and I've doubled it. See? And now, the collar itself. We just come down with a line and we come over to his tongue. Like that. And so far we're building Pluto. Alright, now, Pluto also has a wisdom bump on the top of his head, so it's a little bump. You know, dogs have this bump on the back of their head. I think they call it a wisdom bump. I think it's from walking into tables and stuff, because they're silly. Now the sides of his head aren't finished. So we're going to come down and we're going to follow along the circle on the one side that's hanging down. So I just followed along the circle right here. And then I have to make a little muscle. A little muscle. Because the muscle is what controls his ears. So I added another little bump right there. It looks a little tricky. But there you have it, okay? And from there, two long lines that kind of extend out and make like a water balloon or a sock, like that. See? And that's a long teardrop stretched out. That's his floppy ear. And the other ear, because his head's tilted and he's listening for Mickey's call, well, his other ear is going to go up. So we just extend his head a little bit. So all I did was I added, so just a little tiny line right there after the eyebrow. I'm going to very lightly make a muscle like that. See, I just made that little hook right there. That's going to be a muscle. I don't want to do it dark because the ear's going to come out of it. And then I can extend the rest of his head down to his cheek. But that I can do dark, so I did. So I extended it down to his cheek like that. But this ear's fun. You come up. I'm going to go to the top of my page on this one, using my whole paper. Come up, over. So basically it's like the shape of a candy cane or an upside down letter J. And then from there I'm going to come over here. I'll do this one line at a time to show you. So now I've extended it over. See, there's a little wrinkle, and then his ear comes over. And then it comes down and around like that. Now this will look shorter than the other ear, but it's folded in half. So it'll only be half as high because it's folded in half. Like that. Then another little wrinkle. Like that. So see, I made this like Y shape, the letter Y. It's just another little wrinkle. See, we'll hold it up really close for you. And then we just come down and connect it to the muscle. And it gets more narrow and narrow as it gets to the bottom. And that is Pluto. He's a little woof. Alright, I hope you guys had fun. Now if you want, you can throw a couple little whiskers at the top of his wisdom bump. Like you see I did right there. Okay? Always sign your work. My name's Timmy Britt. I'm so glad to have you guys drawing and doing so well with it. And there's Pluto. Alright guys, let's see how you guys do. Remember, you're best friends, and I believe in you both. Draw light and dream big. Thank you so much. Bye.